cornermen. They're just ready to make the ring walk for the biggest fight that boxing can.
Keep your hands up, keep your chin tucked. It's the one and only goes with the shadow in the front. Hope everybody's having a blessed Sunday. The aftermath of this beautiful outside. And I hope you having a blessed day as well. I think I already said that. We had a great night of boxing last night, man. And just want to talk about it and also talk about some things that Turki Al-Sheikh has hinted at in the aftermath of the fight that we saw yesterday. But before we get into the fight, there's a couple of things that I did want to cover in regards to the night itself. But also, I feel like why I feel like the outcome, although I feel like I'm not going to say all, but I would probably say that for the most part, it was an upset. Of course, you got some people that are going to say that they knew the whole time he was going to win. But I want to say shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford, man. Terrence Bud Crawford overcame the odds yesterday. Moving up in weight. Not only did he move up in weight, but the man was able to keep his speed, keep his power. He put out an excellent showing yesterday. And, actually, I was actually, even though Canelo Alvarez lost, yesterday was the first time I've actually seen Canelo content. Like, even though he lost, he was actually content with the outcome. And I think that speaks a lot. And also, if you didn't see after the fight, Crawford actually, and I don't know if that's a normal thing that happens. I don't know if normally the fighters give back the belts, but Crawford gave back Canelo the belts. Now I think that's actually I think that's normal. I'm not sure how that works with the belt situation. I think like when you get a belt, you keep a belt. There's always, like, for instance, if you ever look at fighters that like don't fight no more, they have a belt like at their house. So I think what happens is, even though you lose your belt in the ring, they give it to the guy, and then I think they give you back the belt, and then he gets like a belt mailed to him or something. But it was nice to see Crawford giving the belts back to Canelo, gave him a hug, gave him his respect. And at the end of the day, man, there was a large amount of respect between both of these guys in the ring, man. And with all the shit talking that goes on, really, I feel like we won at the end of the day. I know a lot of people get on Canelo, right? And I'm not saying a lot of it isn't deserved, but just keep in mind that, he didn't have to give him that fight. You know what I mean? He didn't have to give him that fight. He could have just said, hey, I'm not fighting him, and of course, I felt like this was a lose-lose for Canelo. Especially now, look at him, he lost the fight, and people I feel like they're going to question him as a fighter. And I personally don't think that that's the right thing to do. They're both undisputed champions, bro. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't understand the hate that comes from this community. Hold on one second. Let me make sure my AC's on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yeah, my AC is on. Hold on 1 second. Make sure my AC's on. Yeah, I don't understand the disrespect that comes within fight. I mean, I know at the end of the day, you pick a fighter, and a fighter wins and a fighter loses. But I don't understand like the whole, trash a person's opponent, because I feel like you really take away from that person's win. When I got offline last night, right? Exactly what I said was going to happen happened. I mean, you just see people saying all these things, and shout out to Terrence Bud Crawford for Terrence Bud Crawford actually said, don't start taking away from my win, because that's what people did. They did it with the Spence fight too, by the way. They did it with the Spence fight. And even though when he did fight Spence, there was this whole thing like Spence didn't look right or whatever. Bro, you can't, you can only control the fight in front of you. And I feel like Terrence Bud Crawford deserves all the respect in the world. You know, it was a good fight. Canelo. I mean, look, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, Canelo looked tired, especially like around round 7, round 8, and I think a lot of people didn't understand when people were talking about how Terrence Bud Crawford can be older but be in better shape. And people don't realize that when you could be a couple years younger, but you have 60 something fights under your belt, bro, 60 something fights, you're fighting 3-4 times a year, yeah, but they're both gym rats, but Bud has 40 something, what is it? Now 40 something fights. Canelo has 60 something fights. He's fought longer, he's been more active. So I mean, the toll takes a lot out of you, man. And I mean, there's nothing bad I could say about Bud Crawford, man. I had my criticisms leading up to the fight, and as far as like the whole snack shit or whatever. But look, man, at the end of the day, bro, he won the fight. There is no excuses. And like I said, I feel like any bashing of, which I've already been seeing already. I've been seeing people starting to bash Canelo, and I'm like, I mean, you might as well just tell Bud he beat up on nobody. You know what I mean? Like, this shit don't make no sense to me, bro. You know what I mean? It's just how it is. I could tell you this. I think signs of the end. I think I knew that it was a wrap around, I want to say round 7. I actually thought the tides were turning around what was it, round 4 or round 5, where Canelo actually, there was a point in the fight. So in the first couple of rounds went kind of expected the way that I thought it was going to go. Canelo was kind of like stalking him, trying to time him. I think he was trying to like muscle his way through, right? And then as expected, Terrence Bud Crawford was elusive. He was fast. He was throwing his jab. He actually surprised me in the sense that I thought that maybe by like round 5 or 6 we would see Bud Crawford start slowing down. And he didn't start slowing down. He didn't start slowing down. Like he kept the pace. He kept jabbing. He kept moving. And then it was weird because when Canelo realized like he's not slowing down, it was like around 5. I think it was like round 5. It was round 5 where Canelo actually, he won that round in my eyes. He actually picked up the pace and tried, and he was like, I'm not going to say pot shotting. He was going to the body, but he wasn't throwing all his energy into the punches in round 5. And I felt like if Canelo would have just kept doing that, because even Max Kellerman was like, hey, Canelo won that round. He won that round by just pure outlanding him, throwing more and landing more. But when I saw Canelo like around round 6, he started slowing down. He was breathing heavy. And I think one of the most things that actually surprised me the most out of everything, man, was the fact that Bud Crawford was actually to have the success that he had on the inside. I think that surprised me the most, bro. Like I expected Bud to be winning the fight from the outside. I expected that. I expected him to move, keep circling, keep jabbing, and stay on the outside. Like that's what I thought he was gonna win the whole fight like that. But then what really got to me was when I was like, oh man, he's beating Canelo on the outside and he's beating him on the inside. When Canelo was on the inside, I thought that was his best chance. There was even a couple of times in the fight where Canelo put his back against the ropes, and I felt like he was trying to like bait Bud Crawford in. He was trying to bait him in, and that wasn't working either. He was outlanded him. He was faster. Hey man, it just really, it's really, and that's how you know that Canelo was actually content with the fight, man. You know, Canelo after the fight, I honestly thought, I don't know why, but for some odd reason, I felt like at the end of the fight, Canelo was gonna say something like, I thought Canelo was gonna make an excuse. I thought Canelo was gonna be like, at the end of the fight, I really thought Canelo was gonna be like, well, this happened or this happened, but he didn't. He didn't. He actually was like, and then at the end, because look, the last couple of times that Canelo Alvarez lost, everybody talks about it. It's so funny. Everybody talks about it. When Canelo Alvarez loses a fight, which he doesn't lose many, but when he loses a fight, it's like he suddenly doesn't talk English no more. He did it with the Bivol fight. I don't think he spoke any English with the Floyd fight. I don't think he spoke any English then. But I know, like, when he lost the Bivol, when he had the draw with Triple G, right? And I think, was that the first fight? I think it was the first fight with Triple G. When he had the draw and he lost the Bivol, he started talking Spanish after the fight. And I remember people making fun of Canelo, like, "Oh, now you don't speak English. Now you don't speak English." But yesterday, he spoke English. He went to the press conference, and he was like, he was like, "Look, man, he's like, what did he say about Bud?" He said, he said, because I had to go back and watch the conference on rewind, but he said basically, "Hey, I was trying." Canelo was like, "I was trying." Basically, my body was failing me. My body wasn't. I was trying to do something, but my body wasn't. And I saw these reports, and I'm not sure if it's true or not, but did Canelo retire yesterday? Did he say he's done? I think he said he retired. Did did he just say that? Let me see. Let me see. Because I could have swore I saw something where he said that. Let me see. No. No. So that was a rumor. That was a rumor. Let me see exactly right here. What exactly did he say? Hold on one second. He said, let me see. Did he say that? Okay. Of course, Canelo says that Bud is better than Floyd, which I actually agree with him saying that. The reason I'm not saying I think he's better than Floyd, but I actually agree with his statement when he says that when he says that Bud is better than Floyd. I actually expect him to say something like that because this is a better. I mean, technically, this is a better Canelo than the one that fought Floyd. I guess one would say, because he had more experience. He had more. I honestly think that Canelo. And I said this even before. I said this before the Berlanga fight that I think Canelo's prime started turning downwards after the Caleb Plant fight. I just think he I think he started slowing down around the Caleb Plant fight. What was it? After the Caleb Plant fight, he had surgery and then he fought Ryder. I think he fought Ryder. and you know, people criticize that fight, but I think Ryder was a mandatory, and he was coming off of surgery, or he had surgery. But it was around that time where I was like, yeah, you know, and you know, and as much shit that Canelo gets, man, as much shit as he gets, bro, even the people that don't like him. I mean, the man has held boxing down for so long, bro. For so long. And he's got a whole country behind him. And even after he lost, they didn't turn on him. You notice that? You notice how they never turn on that guy. They always support that guy. And you know, I don't think that he should rematch Bud Crawford, but let's go over to X. And what I wanted to talk about was actually that you got Turk Al-Sheikh is basically saying, can David Benavidez make 168? This fight right here is a fight that I actually, and this is the fight yesterday. It was somebody asked me yesterday after the fight. Somebody asked me, who would I want to see next? And I immediately said, I would rather see David Benavidez fight Bud Crawford. And the reason why I feel like this is actually a good fight is because I feel like, you know, number one, you know, as you know, Bud Crawford fought David's brother back at 140, and he fought his brother at 140, and there was a rivalry there, and they really didn't like each other. And so I think it's a good fight. And you know, and David, as far as David goes, you know, David is always talking about how, you know, he wants to make an impact on boxing and this and that. And I mean, what better way? What better way than to beat the guy that you say you've been wanting to fight this whole time? You know, you've been saying that Canelo's been ducking you and all this other stuff. I think it would be a good fight. I really do. And I think Bud has shown that even at 168, he's still that guy. And you know, speaking of Bud, you know, the whole Madrimov thing, you know, like admitting fault, man, I think it's important, man, because you're gonna see, just like today, bro. And I'll never understand this. I will never understand this. You wake up today, right? And you see that Canelo lost. And you wake up today, you see that Canelo lost. And what's so crazy is you look online and hardly anybody is online. I noticed that this morning, bro. Usually everybody is online. Everybody's talking about the fight, but nobody is really online today. And I know that a lot of it has to do with the fact that people were saying, you know, because it didn't go the way that they said. Hey, look, I thought Canelo was gonna win too, man. I thought Canelo was gonna win too, but that's how boxing goes, man. I don't understand why people are so quiet and people don't want to say it. Like, what is it, bro? What is it? You should just, you know, give the man his respect, and let's, you know, hey, shit. If anything, people that were Spence fans, people that are Canelo fans, you should be clamoring for this fight right here. I think it's a great fight. I think what did he say? Let me go over to X. Let me go over to X real quick. Let me see what he said. Turki Al-Sheikh. Let me see. Take this down real quick. We will go over to X, like right here. Let me go over here. Share the screen, right? Turki Al-Sheikh. Turki Al-Sheikh. Okay. So Turki says, oh shit, Ricky Hatton passed away? Oh my goodness, bro. I did not know Ricky Hatton passed away. What did he die of? Oh, wow. Ricky Hatton passed away. Oh, my goodness, bro. He was young. How did he pass away? Hold up. What the hell? I did not know. Wait, was this during the fight? What did he die of? Oh, my goodness, bro. See, man, you see that, bro, and you just know, like, life is short, man. Oh, my goodness, bro. Life is short. To die at 46 years old? Oh, man. Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me see where it says right here. Ricky Hatton passes away. Former world champion Ricky Hatton. Does anybody know what he passed away from? Hatton made a comeback after 3 years, all right, piling on weight, enduring issues with depression and drinking and drug usage. Yeah, but what did he pass away from? Bro, 46 years old is young, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh man, rest in peace, Ricky Hatton, bro. Wow. Man, that makes me every time somebody passes away, that should be making me think about my life. Damn, that is young, man. I mean, I don't. What did he? Bro, this is news to me. This is like news to me. And it just said hours ago. Former world Ricky Hatton passes away. From what? From what? They're not even talking about it. They're not even so when they don't talk about why someone passes away, that really makes me think like, like depression or doing something to yourself, or I hope that's not the case. I mean, either way, it doesn't matter. I mean, you pass away, you pass away. I didn't even know. I mean, I knew the dude was overweight and drinking, but oh man, anyway, rest in peace, Ricky Hatton. Oh man. I swear I didn't know when this happened. On Sunday, Frank Warren were among those who mourned Ricky Hatton on Sunday. It is within the deep sadness the WBA mourns the passing of Ricky the Hitman Hatton, a true champion. Your legacy will live in every fight and in the hearts of boxing fans around the world. Drug use, depression. Yeah, they're not even talking about what he passed away from. Poor guy. Man, life is short, man. Life is short, bro. Unbelievable, man. Okay. I got to look into that later and see what exactly he passed away from. But yeah, man, going back over to Turk Al-Sheikh and what he was saying, man, I don't know why that fucked me up. I don't know why that just messed me up. That's young, man. That's really young to be passing away. You didn't even make it to 50. Sad, man. Sad. I pray for his family, bro, for real. Yeah, I mean, that's why, man, we live in such a horrible world too, man. Just people just don't. respect anything anymore. People don't respect people. They don't. Yeah, man. We live it in the end times for real, for real. And I've been saying that, but yeah, we live it in the end times, bro. We living in the end times. You can't even trust people anymore. You can't even trust people anymore. Like people you think you know. Sad. You know, that reminds me of I know a lot of people are gonna trash Canelo throughout the week and everything, and nah, I'm not gonna do that, man. I'm not gonna do that. I feel like every time somebody loses in this sport, every time, it's the people that's never stepped in the ring, it's the people that's never fought, it's the people that's never done nothing, are the most biggest criticizers of other people. It's always the people that never show their face, hiding behind an avatar, and live through social media and want to poke at other people. It's almost like it's almost like they're waiting for you to lose. It's that's how it looks like to me. It looks like you got people in life, they they wait for you to lose. It's like that's what they want you. They want you to lose. I saw when Canelo lost yesterday, right? And it didn't matter who it was, whether it was Bud, whether it was Canelo. First thing people do, first thing they do, and it's happened to me multiple times. First thing people do is they want to go like antagonize people, and I don't, it just I don't know why, but like I laugh at that, but it shows a lot of character in a person. I forgot who it was. I forgot who it was. This was a couple years ago. There was a fight that was happening, and I firmly believed that somebody was gonna win. I really thought the dude was gonna win. Like I was like being all confident and shit, right? And he ended up losing. He ended up getting knocked out. And so I'm watching the TV and I see him get knocked out, and I'm like, well, maybe I should go live. Like when I saw him get knocked out, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go live, you know what I mean? And I remember I was new in the community and I just knew how people were. So when I saw he got knocked out, I said, hey, hey, I ain't got nothing to hide. I mean, hey, I got it wrong. I'm gonna go live. I'm gonna talk about it, right? And I remember, and was it Chris Colbert? I forgot who it was. And he got knocked out, and the first thing that came to my mind was, hey, go live. Go live, because when you go live, there, the trolls are gonna say something or whatever. So I'm like, let me just take care of this now. And I remember he's still on the floor. I'm like, okay, boom, boom, boom. I go up, I go live, and as soon as I hit the live, everyone is all in the comments, like, hey, ha ha ha, motherfucker, hey, ha 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 ha. And I was like, yeah, man, he lost, man, bad game plan, this and that. Boom. I lost. It was like 10 people unsubscribed, bro. It was so weird. It was because it was like it's like they wanted me to like get delusional and make excuses. But the moment I was like, nah, I got it wrong. Like I got it wrong. It's like that got them mad. It's like they got mad. They were like, oh no, he's being honest. It is so weird. I don't know why shit like that be fascinating me, but it's like I don't know. It's like you can't even tell if people are trolling anymore. You really can't. I wonder. Let me look. Let me go to X real quick and see what they're saying about Canelo. And let me see. I have a feeling. I have a feeling because the one of the first things I said was they're gonna trash Canelo, and that's gonna take away from Bud Crawford's loss. Watch what they're gonna do. They're gonna trash this man. They're gonna start making fun of him, saying he never was all that, and this and that, and actually in return, like to me, that looks bad on the person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's why you don't do that. You say, no, man, he was that guy. Look at what Bud did to a pound for pound champion. Look at what Bud did to a fucking champion. That's how you're supposed to talk, because you want that win to mean something. You want that win to be like, you know what I mean? Like me, if I was to beat up on somebody, I don't want to beat up on some helpless individual. That makes me look bad. I'm gonna be like, nah, you see that tough motherfucker I beat up over there? That's how you want it to be. You don't want it to be like, look, he's trash. Like, so I no, my opponent's not trash. My opponent was good. My opponent was pound for pound. And immediately that's what they do. Look, man, I think the best thing to do at this moment is to go forward. I saw a tweet, which I don't know if Turkey was responding to somebody else, but I think Turkey had said that he's insinuating, can David make 168? I think that's a good fight. Why not? Why not? I want to see it. I want to see it. After what I saw yesterday, one of my biggest questions was, can Bud handle the weight? Can he be able to still be fast and have speed in that weight? And he answered that. You super disappointed in what? What do you mean? What are you super disappointed in? In me? In me? You're super disappointed in me? What did I do? Oh, um, it's okay to be disappointed in Canelo, man. You know, it's okay, man. You look. I thought, I thought. Nah, man. You see, I don't see. I don't want to do that, because I'm telling you, man, that's gonna take away from Bud's loss, bro. I don't know why we do that, and I'm not coming at you, man. I'm trying to understand as an individual and as a person, why do we do this? Why? Why when somebody loses do we trash that guy? Like, you don't realize, to me, in my opinion, what you're doing to the person that won. They did it like when Spence, okay? Look, I get it. When Crawford beat Spence, he beat his face to a pulp. He was like, I actually was screaming at the TV. I was like, stop the fight, stop the fight. And people go back to how Spence looked walking to the ring. Right? He looked high. He looked whatever. Look, regardless of how he looked, that's not Bud Crawford's fault, right? So let's at least agree there. That's not Bud's fault, right? But then they started to, like, I feel like every time somebody loses, right? I understand that you're disappointed, but it ain't just Bud. It's with anybody. It's like, I feel like and I only bring up Tank. I bring up Tank because I've seen this a lot with Tank fans. I've seen this a lot. When Frank Martin got knocked out, when Rolly got knocked out, when Barrios got knocked out, right? I saw this whole community talk about them in such a way that, for me, from an outsider looking in, because I'm not like a huge, like, I like Tank, but I'm not like a pro Tank fan. You know what I mean? And that, not for what he does inside the ring. I've always felt like Tank had enough skills to fight T.O., to beat T.O., and I like T.O. I'm being honest with you. I always felt like he had the skills to beat T.O., to beat Devin, to beat Ryan, right? He ended up fighting Ryan, but he never did. He never, like, you know what I mean? And that was my criticisms with him. But as far as like in the ring, I always was like, yeah, I rock with that, bro. He knocking people out. And I always would see that every time when he knocked out Barrios, when he knocked out Rolly, when he knocked out Frank Martin, I would go to X the next day and I would see these people talking shit about Rolly, Frank Martin. These are Tank fans now, right? But the way that they were talking about those opponents made it look bad on Tank. That's how I took it. Hey, look at this guy. He can't even, he's garbage. Look, Frank Martin, I told you he was never all that. These are Tank fans now, right? And look, Rolly, man, Rolly got no skills. Only got his power, right? And some of this shit may be true criticisms, right? But I'm looking at this and I'm like, they're just trashing this guy. They're like making it look like he shouldn't even be in the ring. And I'm like, bro, so every person that Tank was knocking out, this is what they were saying. And I'm like, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. But if every time somebody fought somebody, they were like, this guy's a fucking bum. This guy's a fuck. He ain't. I would look at him. I would eventually start looking at that guy and go, why are you beating up on bums? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Every time somebody wins a fight, when I got off my live yesterday, I wasn't even live long. There's a short that I have. You remember when Canelo and Crawford were sitting next to each other in the little interview, and it was Dana White, and it was Tom Brady, and it was Shaquille O'Neal, and they were going back and forth, and Canelo said to Crawford, hey, who have you fought? Remember? It's just a little short that I have, but it's one of the ones where it's got like, I don't know if it's like a couple thousand views, right? It's a little short that I made. I didn't say anything about Ricky Burns. I didn't say nothing about Ricky. Ricky Burns is a 3-division champion. All I did is I put what Canelo said about, like, Canelo was like, Crawford was like, so Ricky Burns ain't a 3-time champ? Like, what he say? Oh, he said, so Ricky Burns ain't elite? And Canelo said, who? Right? So I made a short where it's just Canelo saying, who's that? Maybe Canelo doesn't really know who Ricky Burns is, right? He was just like, who's that? But anyway, I make a little short, and I even put on the title. Canelo don't know who Ricky Burns is. And I didn't say Shadow don't know who Ricky Burns is. You know what I mean? And of course, you know, leading up to the fight, people would talk a lot of shit, whatever, right? So yesterday, I go live and I'm like, hey, shout out to Bud Crawford, no excuses. And I said, I guarantee you, watch, because Tycho was here. And I was like, Tycho, I'm telling you now. Remember I told you, no matter who wins, Bud or Canelo, no matter Bud or Canelo, people are going to trash the loser. And I said, it always looks bad for the guy that beats him because it's like, now you're taking away from his win. Tycho was like, nah, I don't think they're going to do that with Canelo. I said, watch. As soon as I get off, that little short, I already got like 3-4 comments on there. People were like, look, Canelo's trash, getting beat up by a welterweight. And I'm like, bro, so why the fuck would you give Terrence Bud Crawford? You see what I'm saying? This is what they always do this. And it's almost like the mentality of a troll. Like when a troll, you look at some trolls, I really feel like that. I feel like some people that are trolls, I don't think all of them have the intention to just get a laugh. Like, I honestly believe some trolls deep down inside don't like that individual. They don't want that individual to succeed. Not all, but I think some are like that. And it's the same mentality where it's like, you're giving that guy attention. Like, you are literally giving him what you don't want him to have, right? And that's like the mentality I don't understand. It's like, you're going to sit here, you're going to start degrading Canelo. Then it's like, so what did Bud really achieve? You can't do that. You know what I mean? And it was going to happen no matter who won the fight. And then another thing is, you know, just fucking keeping accountability. People get fights right. People get fights wrong. Like, it's not that big for me. It's not that big for me. You know, the two things I kept consistent saying, I'm going for Canelo because of the weight. I said, if anyone could do it, it's Bud. He's had a long time anyone could lock in. Been saying this since the fight started. I always felt like nobody locks in better than Bud Crawford. When I mean lock in, meaning he focuses on an opponent and he locks in. That's why I kept saying you cannot compare the Jermell situation with Crawford. Two different individuals, bro. Two different individuals, not even the same situation. Jamal wasn't even supposed to fight Canelo. Jamal was supposed to fight Jamal was supposed to fight Canelo. Jamal steps in because of the issues that his older brother was having or whatever. I don't know if he's the younger or older brother. He steps in, and yes, he had a camp. But he never had campaigned at 160, let alone 168. But at least had a little experience moving up from 147 to 154 with one Madrimov fight, which I didn't even count. It. And the reason why I was so confident, I'm like, he's not going to beat Canelo, is because I'm like, because of the weight. That's the logical boxer fan in me, right? The logical boxer fan in me. And I'm like, but if anyone could do it, it's Bud. Been saying it since day one, right? But you get some right, you get some wrong. And it's hard for me to decipher whether people are living vicariously through these fighters or whether this is all an act. You see what I'm saying? Like I told you, bro. Like I'm being dead ass with you. There was I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna show y'all. I forgot what fight it was. I forgot which one it was. I had went live before the fight. I don't know if Puto. I haven't seen Puto in a while. Where's Puto been? I think Puto was up here with me and we were talking about a fight. And I was talking shit. I was so confident this dude was gonna win it, hey, bro. And I got it I got it wrong, bad. I forgot who it was, and I'm like, nah, bro, nah, ain't no fucking way, right? I get off, I turn on the fight, and the dude I was going for gets knocked out, flat knocked out, and I'm like, oh shit. And I had just done a live, so I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, hey, man up, go live. I mean. Like I said, I hit the live. Dudes came up in here. What's going on, Bruce Gas? No, I'm not saying you are, Bob. I'm not saying you are. I'm talking in general. The dude got knocked out, and I go live, and I'm like, as soon as I get here, I could tell these are like burner accounts or something. These are people that know me, but they're coming in as different people. Yeah, Mo. Yeah. Talk that shit now. And I was like, bro, he got knocked out, bro. Right? They got mad. And unsubscribed. It's almost like they wanted me to make narratives. They wanted me to make an excuse. They wanted me to be in denial. But when I was like, nah, I got it wrong. It's like that got them mad even worse. I'm telling you, bro. I like some of these people act like kids, man. I mean, if I'm a Bud Crawford fan, which I am a Bud Crawford fan, not a pro, like just like I'm a Canelo fan regularly. You guys know the fighters that I really like. Like, for instance, look at Tio. When Tio lost to Kambosos, bro, I had to eat that. Bro. There's only one fighter in the world that if he ever lost, it really hurt me like emotionally. And that was Tito Trinidad. When Hopkins fucked him up, bro, oh man, I was all fucked up. And I was new in the boxing and everything. No other fighter does that to me. No fighter. But the denial and the insecurities people have, to me, ruins your fighter that you're going for. You see what I'm saying? Like I ain't gonna make no names. Y'all could probably figure it out yourself. Day before the fight, these guys go live and they put up a split screen with Canelo and Bud. And they were going through like all these things that like what one is better than the other at, right? Now, of course, these are all opinions, right? Everything except for chin was Bud. Everything, right? I think they even had like the categories were shit that Canelo's better at, like face of boxing, drawing in fans, whatever. It was just delusional mindset. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, well, if it's that damn bad, then why the fuck should he get credit for beating somebody like that? Like, these were two undisputed champions, bro. 2 undisputed champions. Yes, it looked bad for Canelo. Of course it looked bad. That's why it was a lose-lose for Canelo. If Bud would have lost, it wouldn't have been really that bad. It wouldn't have been that bad. People would have said, hey, man, he was daring to be great. But now Canelo loses. It does look bad for Canelo. But it shouldn't look bad to where you attack him in his career, because to me, that takes away from Bud. Because if that's the case, then you're going to look at Bud, and I guarantee you people are still going to do this to Bud. Yes, can you criticize people's resumes? Yes. If I would, like, for instance, when I look at Devin Haney going undisputed, he went undisputed, but it's easy to criticize his it's easy to criticize that. Me. Why? Well, because he didn't actually, in my opinion, but it doesn't matter what the fuck I think, he's still undisputed. But in my opinion, he didn't beat the champions. Teofimo Lopez did the heavy lifting and beat these guys. And then he lost. And then he lost to a guy. Now this guy's got all the hardware. Devin steps in and beats him and takes everything. And it's almost like you're building a house. It's almost like you're building a house and all these other guys are there and they're laying down the foundation and they're doing everything. And it's like the last couple of weeks of the finishing touches. And then you just come in at the last moment and lay everybody off and you put the last finishing touches on there and you tell everybody I built the house. That's how I looked at it. I'm like, yeah, you put the finishing touches on it, but you didn't build it. Right? It's easy to criticize like that. But you still can't take away that it's his house. You know what I mean? People are going to still criticize Bud because the same way they criticize Canelo, which I never understood this either, because it's like they go, well, 168 wasn't a good division. 140, look at Ndongo and all that. And I've even been guilty of that. But really, like, when I put it in reality, like, this is professional boxing. None of this shit is easy, bro. To even be in the top 5, to even be like a mandatory for a title is a dream to some people. Is a dream to even get to that state, to get in the top 10 in a professional boxing sanctioning body. Maybe not with these sanctioning bodies these days, but to even become top 10 is like a dream for some people. Is a dream. It's so hard. And people laugh at the people. And Crawford even said this. People laugh at the people that sit on the bench in a basketball game or a football game. In years ago, what was it? Before the Sean Porter fight, Crawford was doing an interview because people kept criticizing him about who he fought with the opposite side of the street. Yo, people kept saying all the real welterweights are over at PBC. You're with Bob Arum and the people you're beating up are over the hill and this and that. And Bud said something like, bro, they're always going to say something. He's like, these are the same people that look at Tom Brady when he has a bad day and throws 4 interceptions. And they go, oh, look, Tom Brady threw 4 interceptions. This is at that time. And he's like, they can't even throw the ball 45 yards. This is what Bud's saying. They can't even throw the ball 45 yards. They laugh at the dudes that don't play the game and they have the uniform on, sitting in the crowd, yet that guy is 10 times more talented than you, makes more money than you. And you see what I'm saying? But he was pointing out the mindset of the average boxing fan. It's not just the average boxing fan, it's the average human being. It's just how people are. They're both undisputed champions, bro. And remember, Canelo didn't have to give him that fight. He didn't have to. What's going on, Tycho? Yeah. Well, I had him even without the car accident. Stylistically, he was going to beat Spence. Stylistically, he was going to beat Spence. And you know what's so ironic with that situation is that fight would have never materialized if it wasn't for Errol Spence. Remember that fight as well. Al Heyman never wanted Spence to fight Bud. And this actually came out later. They were playing the Andre Ward, he's Andre Ward, the podcast he's got in the interview with Crawford on there. And I don't know if you saw the part where Andre Ward said that Errol Spence texted him. Did you if you haven't seen the interview, and I don't know if it was new or old or whatever, Andre Ward is interviewing Bud Crawford. They brought up Bud Spence, they brought up Errol Spence and everything, and Andre Ward goes, "Hey bro, I don't know if I ever told you, but Errol texted me one day." This is Andre Ward telling Bud, like, I don't know if I told you, but Errol texted me one day when y'all were back and forth. And he said that Errol texted him and said, "Hey, bro, I know you cool with Bud and shit. But bro, I know that's your man's, bro. But like, I'm telling you, Dre, I'm not ducking that man, bro. I'm not ducking that man. I know what it may look like or whatever. I'm telling you what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get all these belts over here, and I promise you, I'm a fight that man." And Andre Ward was telling Bud that in the interview, right? And then you had Bud came out and said, "Yeah, Spence is the reason why that fight happened, not because of Al Heyman. They were trying to cock block and do whatever to stop that fight from even happening." Like, shout out to Earl for same shit with Canelo. Like, Canelo didn't have to take that fight. He took the fight. You know what I mean? I love boxing to the point where it's like, I don't really got to trash people. There's only a handful of fighters where I actually, bro, even like, people swear I hate Devin. I don't hate Devin, bro. I don't hate Devin. I just want to see a good fight. And I don't think the fight was bad yesterday. I think people, and this isn't towards you, Bob. This isn't towards you. But I think some people might say the fight was boring because it didn't go their way. The fight wasn't that boring to me. Canelo was trying. And you know how you know Canelo was really trying? The fifth round. The fifth round was a Canelo I haven't seen in a while. Now, the first couple of rounds were kind of like strategic and shit. But in the fifth round, if you remember, Canelo, he took like 50% power off his shots and was going to the body. And he was kind of like, well, I think it was the fifth round, Tycho, because that was the round where Tycho was like, oh, yeah, Canelo came back and won that round. And he stopped putting like 80, 90% into his shots. And he was moving. He was moving and he was going to the body. He was kind of like throwing like 50% of his punches. And he was more active than Bud. It landed more than Bud in the fifth round. And I'm like, okay. But then I saw the very next round, he was puffing. So if he would have kept that up, he could have actually outboxed, like, because Bud looked a little bit confused in the fifth round. But he came out in the sixth round and Bud took that shit right back. And I think what surprised me the most, actually, was I expected Bud Crawford to have success on the outside. I expected that all day. It was when they got in the inside. When he started beating Canelo on the inside, I can't do nothing but tilt my hat, bro. I couldn't, like, come on, man. I can't, like, I don't know, man. I have to give people respect. Like, that's just how I am as a person, bro. There's not one person I don't know personally where I dislike them so much that even if they do something that's some like good shit, I don't respect it, bro. Like, I talk a lot of shit about Devin. If Devin goes in there and smokes Brian Norman Jr. in November, bro, I'm gonna be like, fucking good shit for Devin, bro. Like, I don't know Devin personally for him to do anything that would, if he's doing something that I feel like he, like, as respect as a boxing fan, like, I'm not going to give it to him. This is how I am. Like, yo, I picked Canelo to win. I thought Canelo was gonna win, but Bud win, and Bud get utmost respect from me. And I ain't gonna trash Canelo because, like I said, bro, I'm not taking away from Bud's win. I'm not doing that, bro. Motherfuckers love to do that shit. They love to do that shit. Like you making like, especially like, it'll be a Bud fan that'll start tracking. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Why are you making it look bad for me? No, you should be like, look what he did to the pound for pound motherfucker, the best dude at 168. Look at what he did. He took the biggest dude in the yard and beat him decisively. That's how I talk. Like, if I'm trying to big somebody up that I'm backing that want to fight, not look, told you dude was a fraud, told you he's trash, told you he can't fight. Then what the fuck? What's the point? Like, these dudes is ass backwards with their thinking, bro. Ass backwards, bro. Yeah, I rewatched it. Yeah, when you first said that, I went back and looked at it, and this is just my opinion. Maybe I gotta watch it again, Tycho, because if you remember yesterday, my app was messing up, and I went back and I rewatched the fight, right? And I just finished watching it again before I went live. Me personally, I didn't see Canelo hurt. Yeah, he got wobbled, but I didn't see him hurt though. But maybe I gotta watch it again. Like, I know that his punches was enough to keep him like that. That was the biggest, like, the two telltale signs for me was you have to be able to hit him with something to make him respect you. And yes, he definitely had that and some. And then the second thing was, are you going to be able to keep up whatever pace you're keeping up with that much weight on you? And he was able to answer that question as well. And then he even threw a cherry on top by beating him on the inside, which really, really shocked me because Canelo is not stupid. Canelo is not stupid. He there was a part in the fight where he tried to bait Bud in. They were on the bottom right side of the ring, and they were standing there. Canelo took a couple steps back and leaned back on the ropes. He leaned back on the ropes and went like that. And I was like, oh yeah, he's baiting Bud in. He's baiting him in. Bud, I thought Bud was gonna back up and be like, no, come here. No, he didn't. He went straight to him. He said, oh, you want to stand on the ropes? I'll stand right there with you. You want to be in the middle? I'll be in the middle with you. You want to go up close? I'll go up close with you. I mean, there's nothing you can say, man, other than the dude performed. The dude performed. And I just feel like people really should get out of their feelings, bro. Just the better man won. The last time I gave someone respect in a fight too, like that, bro, of course, like, I don't even look at my subscriber count no more. There was another fight where a dude won, gave him full credit. Motherfuckers they unsubscribe because I don't know what you wanted me to say. Like, what do you want me to say? You want me to trash? You're not going to get that from me, bro. I'm not going to do that, bro. The better man won. The better man, like, and especially with a performance like that. But with that being said, like, Canelo got nothing to be ashamed of, bro. Y'all act like Canelo wasn't trying, bro. Canelo was trying. He was trying. Bro, I want to see that fight so bad, bro. So bad. I want to see that fight so bad. My boy was here yesterday from Jersey, and he said to me, hey, he was texting me because he was asking me something in the chat, and I couldn't read it, so he texted me. He's like, motherfucker, answer the question. And I looked, he texted me, said, who do you want to see next? And this is before this whole Turkey thing came out. I said, you know what I want to see next? I want to see David Benavidez and Crawford. And I know it's possible. If anything is possible, it's possible now. And I will tell you why. Number one, Turki Al-Sheikh got that money. We don't even got to worry about the money. He got the bag, bro. He got the bag. So we know that's not even an issue at this point. But number two, you want to know why that fight is so intriguing? The storyline. You got Canelo Alvarez, who David Benavidez says that the man's been ducking him all this time. And of course, I've been on record saying that I do think Canelo was avoiding him. So you also got the fact that Bud Crawford had real problems with David Benavidez' brother, even though it's years ago, when they were at 140. Was it 140? Remember the press conference where David Benavidez' brother swung at Crawford? They had real beef, right? And knocked David's brother out, right? So you got that storyline. And for those that know David really looks up to his brother, bro. Even though David is the superior fighter, David is the superior boxer, David would beat the fuck out of his older brother 10 times out of 10. Like, they could fight 100 times. David Benavidez will beat the fuck out of his older brother, but he respects his older brother so much, he don't talk like that. Like, even when he had the fight with Morrell, every time David Benavidez fights, he tries to put his brother on the card, right? He tries to put his brother on the card, and I forgot what fight it was, but his brother fought Jamal Charlo, right? And on the build up to that, you could see the respect that David Benavidez had for his brother. He was like, it was like the behind the scenes. He's like, hey, you know, a lot of people look at my brother and they think that he can't fight and this and that, but that's my older brother. Like he would beat my ass and he would help me, you know, get in shape and all this other stuff. He really looks up to his brother, right? So you got that storyline where Bud knocked out David's brother, right? So you got that storyline there. You got the money with Turk Al-Sheikh. He's got enough bag as far. Now the only thing is, Turk was like, can David make 168? I think money can make anything happen, bro. You throw enough money at him, he'll put the cake down. He'll put the food down. He'll make the weight. And it's even more intriguing because I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but I really want to see Bud Crawford really, really, really tested. I don't think Canelo brought that out of him, unfortunately. I think David would bring that out of him. We can't talk about size no more, because if anything last night showed you was that whole narrative, there's a difference between your size and your weight. All right? They kept saying Canelo was the bigger man. Not when you have Bomac saying, no. Technically, I think Bomac should have never said that, because it sounded like Crawford was a weight bully. That's how it came off to me. No, man. That's where he should be fighting at. I just kept him down there. That don't sound right, bro. That don't sound right. What do you mean he should have been fighting here his whole career? You just kept him at 2-3 divisions lower than what he should be fighting at. That sounds like a weight bully me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think you should have said that. But anyway, we showed that even at that weight, he's got the speed. He's got the power. Turkey is already interested in it. He's already hinted at it. Why not? Why not make David and Bud? And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say, I think, bro, if he beats David, I mean, that's just crazy. But look, even without him beating David, we were talking about Usyk yesterday, but I forgot that Inoue won yesterday too. The only person I probably got over Bud is Inoue. And I really have to think about that. But and it's just a personal thing. It's personal. You can go either way you want with it. Usyk, Bud, Inoue, Usyk, Bud, Usyk, whatever. You can go any way you want. It's all preference. But for me, I preference Inoue over both of them. And it's like I said, it's the preference. first off, I don't think the smaller weights get enough credit. I don't think they get enough credit. I don't think people realize that these smaller weights, these people are more active. There's more punches thrown, which to me makes it harder. That's just, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm telling you what I see from the outside. The smaller weights, these guys are smaller. They throw a lot more punches. It's always more exciting. They're constantly exerting themselves, right? And this guy is running through divisions. It got so bad with Inoue. He ran through so many divisions that when he does take a fight, that is like a regular fight. He took like 1 or 2 fights, and these were still top guys. They weren't low guys. They just weren't the best of the best. He was beating so many people that when he does fight 2 fights where these guys are really good, you got people saying shit like, man, he better stop that shit. I don't know. I'm starting to look at him different now. What do you mean you're starting to look at him different? Motherfucker, he needs a break. He's a human being. He's beating the top guys. He's literally walking into the division like, who the fuck is the champion here? How many y'all is there? 4? Okay, you stay right there. Boom, take him out. Take him out. Take him out. Take him out. Move up. Who the fuck's here? Take him out. Take him out. Take him out. And he's doing that and doing that. And then finally, in between, he's like, yeah, all right, let me just, let me chill. Let me smack up a motherfucker that's ranked number 4. All right, let me got his number 5. Oh, he better stop doing that. Stop doing what? Kicking ass? I mean, come on. He's the only one that I have maybe over Bud. But what Bud did yesterday is legendary. It's legendary. And y'all don't got to do it, bro. I'm just telling you the way I look at it, bro. And I'm going to say it again. If you're out there trashing Canelo, making Canelo look bad, bro, you're just making Bud's win look fucking worse. And just think about that. Just think about that. I'm being dead ass serious, bro. I use Tank as an example because I've been in this community for years, bro. You go back when Tank knocked somebody out, what these dudes would say about those guys. They would literally say the most disrespectful shit about Rolly, Frank Martin, and all these other guys. And whether you truly believe that or not, whether you truly believe, because I know people really were like, well, Frank didn't deserve that shot. Rolly didn't really deserve that shot. Rolly didn't deserve a WBA shot. It doesn't fucking matter, bro. At the end of the day, that guy was next in line. That's who Tank fought. Tank demolished him and knocked him out. And here you are trashing this motherfucker so bad that now I'm looking at Tank sideways. Now I'm like, Tank, why are you picking on people? Well, Celestial Bean, I don't know. I don't know if it's really that fair because you see, look, I'm going to tell you. Now, I agree with your opinion, but let me tell you why I feel like it is fair. I'm going to tell you why I feel like it is fair. Was it fair when we wanted David to fight Canelo? Right? Canelo was like, he brings nothing but 25 pounds more, whatever, right? Now, Canelo was at 168. So was David, right? The reason why I'm saying it's fair is because Bud moved up and did what he did to Canelo. And you got Bomac saying, nah. This is the weight he should have. That's what he said. This is the weight he should have been fighting at. I just had him down there. And to be honest, I thought it was cap. I thought that was just something to say to keep the promotion juicy. No, after his performance, I believe that. I believe that. I now believe that. So if he and with his performance and what he did against Bud Crawford, it was so good. He does that he is the king at 168 right now. He beat the king at 168. David was just at whatever. If David could still make 168, which is a hard ask, but I think money does it all. I think money, bro, you throw enough money at somebody, David will do it. Yeah, it will be kind of unfair, but you know what? Who else is going to test Bud at this point? I do not think that Canelo should rematch him. I think Canelo has done enough for the sport, bro. I personally said that I felt like it was a lose-lose for Canelo, but either way, you can't take what he's accomplished, right? And I even said, even if you were to come back and rematch, and let's say he was the beat Bud, it still wouldn't matter. As long as David Benavidez is always in the realm of Canelo Alvarez, they will always throw that over his head. So that's why I said, just leave it alone. Bud is the guy. Go retire, Canelo. You got like $300-400 million. You got your own electrical gas company, whatever it is, man. Go do you, bro. I know he wants to golf and do whatever. He says he's really good at golf and he wants to pursue a golfing career. That man's deserved all of that, bro. And all these guys that hated on Canelo over the years, I want him to leave the sport. In a way, I do. Because I've seen so many of these guys attack this man. Let him leave so they can find somebody else now. You see what I'm saying? It's like Floyd. You know, people thought they hated Floyd, but as much as you hate Floyd, I missed the guy when he left. I think he's one of the most childish individuals on planet Earth. I hated the whole, hugging the money and throwing the money in your face. But as the entertainer, Floyd the entertainer, Floyd with the gloves on, Floyd inside the ring, I missed that motherfucker, bro. Not the character that I see outside the ring, the fucking immature kid with the money. Not him, but the dude that fought in the ring. Yeah, I didn't find his fights really that boring, bro. I didn't. When people were calling Floyd, oh man, he's boring. Yet most of y'all were saying that because he beat up on the guy you thought was gonna win and he made it look easy. That's why. That's why you thought he was boring. And even on the fights that he had that were close, which was a few, he rematched and made it wasn't even close. Every time he did every time Floyd said, "Oh, you think he beat me? Okay, let's run this back." Rematch, made it very clear I could beat this motherfucker, bro. And when he left, I missed him. As a person that, just like I missed Oscar, Fernando Vargas, Roy Jones. When Canelo leaves, they're going to have to find somebody else to now no, the thing is, I don't personally, if you just throw a regular bag at David, he ain't going to make it. But all I'm saying is this. Turki's money. Think about this. I want you to think about this. Canelo had no interest in fighting Crawford. Crawford even said, he didn't have to give me this fight. I wanted the fight. Andre Ward, the first thing Andre Ward said after the fight was over yesterday, that surprised me coming from Andre Ward and Max Kellerman. It surprised me because those guys are known Canelo haters. The first thing they said is, we got to give Canelo respect because the moment we start going at this guy, it takes away from Bud. They literally said the same thing I said. They were like, I got to give him respect. We got to keep it 100 here. But Canelo didn't have to give him the fight. The fans did not even turn on Canelo. They still love him the same. The moment we start tearing this motherfucker down, it's going to look bad on Bud. So I'm not doing that. He gave him the fight. He had to give him the fight. But he had no interest in fighting him. But that money made it possible. I don't think David makes 168 any day of the week, but I guarantee you, if Turkey put on X, David, can you still make 168 with a question mark? And I guarantee you, David's looking at that going, the bag this man's gonna offer me. The bag this man is gonna offer me. And we don't gotta worry about like time period. That's not. It's just, somebody said to me yesterday that they thought I was making an excuse when I said that Bud Crawford had all that time to prepare for Canelo. I'm like, that's not an excuse. Number one, that's smart. Number two, that's a fact because he had an opportunity to fight when Canelo was gonna fight William Skull, and he went on X and said, "Nope, I'm not doing that." I know Turkey told me, because I did a live on it. He said, Turkey promised me Canelo. I'm good. I'm just going to focus on that. He's literally telling you that. And somebody was like, well, no, he had a layoff. No, it's not the same. A layoff is when you got a layoff and you're not doing boxing. If you know you have a fight, I'm not saying he's in the gym every day, but if you know you have a fight in December and you got a year, that's not technically a layoff because you know you got a fight. And somebody like Bud Crawford, who's a gym rat, who's always in shape, every time you see him, he's near a gym, he's in a gym. He may not be doing it as hard as he's doing it when he's about to fight, but he's in the gym, he's working out, he knows who his opponent is. And like I said, Bud Crawford locks down more than anybody. Like if I had to pick fighters, personalities, chin or whatever, traits or whatever, there's certain things I would take from each fighters, like Bud's will and his determination and the fact that he's undefeated and his dog and him locking in. I would pick that from him. Like sort of like if it was a chin, I'd pick Canelo's chin. And I still think Canelo got one of the best chins. If that was anybody else getting hit with them shots from Bud, they'd got knocked out yesterday. If that was Bud hitting somebody like how he used to hit him when he was at welterweight, they'd have been knocked out. Canelo got a legendary chin, which another thing, like I said, I can only give Bud Crawford credit. He surprised me in all categories. He hit him enough where he respected him. And the most important thing is he beat Canelo on the inside. I didn't think he would. I thought, if anything, I'm like, that's where Canelo's going to hurt him. Canelo's going to catch him on the inside. Canelo's going to win rounds on the inside. Even when they got close, he was out muscling him. There's nothing you can say. I need to stop like wanting people to think like how I think, because that's where that's how you get disappointed in life. When people do nice things for people, and they say you're not supposed to do nice things for people and expect nice things in return. You just do it, right? I think like my biggest issue, not just with life, but in sports, is I put expectations on other people that really I shouldn't have any expectations for anybody, especially not in the world that we live in 2025. You can't trust nobody. Nobody's respectful. Nobody keeps their word. Nobody does anything that they like. And I'm not saying I'm greater than anybody, but I'm saying when you put expectations on that and fans and everything else in your life, you're going to be disappointed every single time. But I am not surprised by the things that I see every fight. I'm not surprised. Benavidez has been deserving a chance at those belts. I believe Crawford is a true champion. Oh yeah, Crawford will too. And like I said, bro, the storyline can't be any better. That is a perfect storyline. He knocked out my older brother years ago, and they had real beef. Y'all can't tell me you don't want to see. If you're a Bud Crawford fan, you should be wanting to see him fight David. I think he can beat David. I think he could beat David. That would be a hell of a fight too, man. David's got the size and the youth. And and by the way, David's got a key component already that I already know that'll give Bud Crawford problems. I already know because I saw it last night. When Canelo won round 5. I saw what I needed to see. When Canelo took all his steam off his punches and he only put 50% on his punches, and he was just kind of like, he wasn't pot shotting, but he was throwing more. And he was moving to the side. He was going to the body. He outlanded Crawford, and he clearly won that round. Max Kellerman said he won that round. Andre Ward said he won that round. And then he came back out in the 6th round, and he was huffing and puffing. And that's where, you know what I mean? So I already know that a high output gives Bud Crawford problems. So David Benavidez is high output city. That's all. That's what he banks on. That's what he banks on. He doesn't have power like that. He banks on overwhelming you. His presence. He's big. He's tall. He stays in front of you. He doesn't give you a chance to breathe. That's most of the people that fight David Benavidez. If you notice, they do well in the beginning. They do well. They're fresh. They can keep them off. They throw power shots. It's always okay. Like even Andre had a good fucking couple of rounds against him, right? Morrell had a good couple of rounds against him. It's always as the fight moves on, when David's pressure starts getting to you and you start slowing down, is when he starts fucking walking you down. So if he fought Bud, there's a lot of factors into that. And let's not forget, Bud can't switch stances, which I got to go back and look again because I don't know how many times he switched stances on Canelo. I didn't even know if he did. I know he started off in southpaw. But see, I would rather see him fight David than fight someone like Boots, and I'm a Boots fan. Like as a Boots, I'm disappointed in Boots. I look at him differently now. The man's in his 30s and has turned down some fights that I think he should have taken. Like when you're it would be different if he was 22, 23, 24. He's 30 something years old, turning down fights that I think are key fights. If Boots was to retire tomorrow, the only people that would be talking about him is people from Philly. Nobody's if Boots Crawford retired right now, nobody in 10 years is gonna go, remember that guy, Boots? Remember him? Nobody, bro. Nobody. Because he hasn't done shit. And it's coming from a Boots fan. I was the one pumping the whole I was one of the ones that was like, yo, he needs to fight Crawford, this and that, this and that. But you know, I'm always gonna be 100 with how I feel. I now know and think that Bud will beat Boots, but it's not only that. I don't want Boots to get the fight. I don't think he deserves the fight. I think David deserves the fight. David had been chasing Canelo, and whether, regardless of how long he was a mandatory or not, and regardless whether he's in a higher weight class, we can't start saying that's not fair now. He's at cruiserweight when just a second ago we were talking about a guy from 147, 154 going all the way up to 168. That's okay. But no, we don't want to talk about David coming back down to 168. No, fuck that. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, bro. It's okay for Bud to move up all that weight and fight Canelo. Okay, throw the bag at somebody, have him move down and fight Crawford. What's the problem? I don't see no problem in it. If that's the case, we should have never saw Bud and Canelo. And those are the two fighters that I really want to see tested, by the way. Those are the two fighters I really want to see pushed to the limit. Bud Crawford and David Benavidez. And I don't think where they're at right now, they're like I don't think like you know, and this is another thing too, like I understand people. I thought Canelo was gonna win too, bro. I thought he was too. But every time I gave Bud Crawford a little bit of credit, people were trying to like shoot that shit down. And I'm not gonna call out no names, but people were trying to shoot that shit down. And I'm like, bro, why do you do this, bro? If he beats Canelo, now look at your words. Oh, well, Bud's whole career is manufactured. Bud all this, but no, now what do you gotta say? Y'all doing it with David too. You guys are doing it with David. David ain't for nobody. David's trash. Okay, so every time he beats somebody, now you know how you guys are looking, right? You keep saying people's careers are manufactured. People's careers are this. And then when they beat somebody of stature, now what do you say? What do you say? Oh, he had a lucky night. unless I see people throwing fights, unless I see a fight where a guy, I'm like, damn, I don't even think he got hit, bro. Like, he threw that fight. That's an illegal fight. If I'm actually seeing somebody get their ass whooped on a consistent basis, like, I'm gonna give him credit. I'm not gonna say, man, his whole career is manufactured. I'm not doing that. Because now look at this. The man beat Canelo easily. I'm not into trashing fighters, bro. Never happened. I'm never gonna do that, bro. Never. Bud Crawford, a bad motherfucker, bro. The only person I got over him, and this is a personal opinion, is Inoue. And people don't even give him credit. The only thing I don't like about Inoue is that the motherfucker fights at 3:30 in the morning on a Wednesday. That's what I don't like about it. I can't see his fights. Fuck my whole internal clock up trying to watch him fight. That's another dude running through divisions, bro. Didn't he just beat the guy MJ yesterday? Didn't he just make that motherfucker look ordinary? I think he did, right? Because I missed that fight. Because once again, it was on at such a random ass time. Did he beat MJ yesterday? Because I didn't even look. I forgot. Inoue fought yesterday, right? What happened? Oh, I swear, I swear to you, I did not, because I did not even see it. Like I said, I can't even. It's the hours. Look, no surprise. No fucking surprise there. Inoue dominates MJ. Masterclass to retain undisputed titles. This is another bad motherfucker right here, bro. 117, 111, 118, 110, 118, 110. Leave this fucking man alone, bro. It's a bad boy right there. Yeah, and Tycho. That's what I think people know that. I think people know that. Because most of the people that say that Bud Crawford's career was manufactured are the same people that claim that they know about the boxing business and all this other stuff. You understand. You're not that dumb. He was with Bob Arum, Errol Spence, and Danny Garcia, and Keith Thurman, and Sean Porter, and all these other guys, the good welterweights, were at PBC. Bob Arum could not do business with the PBC. All he had was Bud Crawford. That was his only piece that he had. And Bob Arum, in his old stock ways, was always doing, well, if we ain't fucking doing it my way, you're not fighting my champion. So therefore, he never fought nobody. That's not Bud's fault. Then on top of that, are we forgetting this the same old man who sat there while his fighter was under him and disrespected him and said, I could have built a house on Beverly Hills with all the money I lost on Bud. You lost the money. You're the reason why Bud wasn't selling. You the fucking reason why. Yeah, another good fight that we missed because of that whole shit was a prime Keith Thurman versus Crawford. Styles make fights. Styles make fights, do they not? A prime Keith Thurman? That'd have been a good fight, bro. That'd have been a very good fight against Crawford. Anyway, bro. Sorry for the rant, bro. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, bro. This goes, man. Y'all have a blessed day.